Good morning and welcome to the world of SEO. Just wanted to say thank you guys for letting me have the opportunity to consult you, and really excited to get things going. First and foremost, I'm going to start with the basics when it comes to SEO, and then go right ahead. I'm going to show you my entire ranking process from the beginning to the end, so that you can implement it yourself. There are some things that you won't have access to when it comes to where I get my links from. That's just because it's industry specific, and it's only allowed for certain members for an organization I'm a part of. But I can show you essentially where to get the right links from and links that stick. But first and foremost, I want to explain to you why we go about how Google ranks an SEO. I mean, a website. So let me just click on this thing. Make this a little bit better. See right here is I have some of my notes right here. Anyway, so I might have mentioned this before, but you have something called the UMAC principle. Now, when Googlebot is just imagine when Google crawls a site, we could just call it Googlebot. Googlebot's going to crawl your site because it wants to know, all right, what is this website about? Is it a quality website? What should we rank it for? Is there relevance in the site? So that's what Googlebot does. Then after it collects the data, it sends it back to Google servers, and Google determines whether or not that site it should be on page 1, page 4, page 10, page a million. It just really honestly depends on how you set it up. With SEO, we optimize it. So the biggest thing that you can focus on in any SEO campaign is the URL. If you have the keyword in your URL, it is going to give you a better chance at ranking because that's the first thing that Google looks at. So let me just put that as a 1. 2, you have metadata. And this equals to the SEO titles. Now, some people tend not to understand what an SEO title is, but I will explain to you what it is. Let's type in photographers Charlotte. See what pops up. Okay, so you have a bunch of ads right here, which no one clicks on. And then you have a bunch of different Groupon, a bunch of different types of, what do you call it, like forum pages, stuff like that. And you really don't get to anything until you get down here, which is an actual local business. So you have Piper Warlick Photography, and you can't see the entire thing, so I like to click on the link. And here we have Piper Warlick Photography, Charlotte, North Carolina wedding and portrait photographer. He also has photography in his URL, so that obviously helps a lot too. But anyways, so URL has photography, SEO title, which is right here, has photographer, has the city in it, and it has the keywords that essentially they want to rank for. Now, if we use, and I'm going to explain to you a couple other things on different tools that I recommend downloading, just because it's going to make things easier when you're doing your keyword research. And one of those would be this thing, but I'm going to get to that point in a second, and the keywords everywhere as well. So you have SEO titles, meta description. Meta description, once again, it's still part of the metadata. Where is it? Right here. Authentic portraiture celebrating infants and women, brides, and mothers by Charlotte, North Carolina wedding and portrait photographer. So this is the keyword that they really, really want to rank for. I want to know how much that keyword actually is worth to them. Let's take a look. So really not providing any traffic, not any like good traffic come to the site, which, I don't know why they don't change it up, but they are on page 1 for, photographer Charlotte. And, if we send a bunch of links to the site of Charlotte photographers, they'd probably move up to the top pretty quickly. But anyway, so in the meta description also matters. But the one thing that you cannot do is have the same keyword that you're trying to rank for in the SEO title, in the URL, and in the meta description. That's called over optimization. And not saying that you're going to get penalized, but there's a bigger chance of you getting penalized by Google, because Google is always trying to find ways to expunge people from doing SEO. And when they can say, oh, this guy is clearly trying to rank for this keyword a bunch of times, this seems like SEO, let's penalize them. So you have to be very careful of what you do. Now, once again, Google is a robot, and there's ways of manipulating the robot. But there's certain things that it catches. So you want to be very, very, what's the term for it? Decisive when it comes to putting the keywords in the URL, the meta description, and the anchor. So I'll get to this point too. And the meta description. And then here we have anchor text. Let me just put this one out as well for content. So anchor text, what is that? A lot of people don't know what that is, because to us it means one thing, but to you think of something else. You probably think of a hyperlink. So let me see if they have any on this page. Doesn't look like it. Let's go to portfolio. Let's take a look and see if they have any anchor text on this side. Quickly. Nope. Let me go to a site that does have anchor text, because this is probably the better thing to do. I like to use this example because these guys had SEO done on them. I really wanted them as a client, but it all fall short somewhere. Another SEO company got to them. Anyway, so you have Cypher Flato Law Firm. Lawyers love using SEO because they need the business, and this guy is probably racking in some large amounts of money doing SEO. We'll just go to DWI real quickly and see if we can find it. Okay. No, maybe. Okay, here we go. So they're obviously trying to rank for Charlotte DWI lawyer. So they have DWI DUI in the URL. They also have the keyword that they're trying to rank for as an anchor text or a hyperlink. So when you type in Charlotte DWI lawyer, well, that's going to pop up here. So what they're trying to do is rank this page right here as well as the other page for Charlotte DWI lawyer. It's exciting just because when you see something like this, you're like, all right, well, they did SEO, because as a Charlotte DWI lawyer, and it just looks like it was optimized for SEO, which is obviously exciting to see, because you just kind of know. On top of that, if we go to their Facebook page, the name of their company is Cypher Flato PLLC, but their username is Charlotte Attorneys. What does the username do? It puts to be able to put the keyword in the URL, which is the most important thing. You can find ways to manipulate the keyword into the URL. That's going to do wonders for your business. I'm telling you, when it comes to getting, well, not wonders for but wonders for SEO purposes, which would do wonders for your business. So let me exit this, and then the next portion is content. Now, content, the easiest way to think about it is having between 500 and 1,500 words on a page. Realistically, honestly, you probably want to have more like 1,000 words on a page. That just helps with being optimized for SEO. Now, there is a underwritten rule to that. If all of your competitors only have 400 or 500 words on the page, then you want to go with that. But I mean, if you're looking at some of these bigger sites that have 2,000-3,000 words on the page, you're just trying to find a happy medium. You have to be between like 1,000 and 1,500 pages. So let me go back to Photographer Charlotte. So let's see, and this is where I'm going to get into using this specific tool right here. Quickly. Let's shoot for 9:45. Sorry about that. I've been meeting with a potential SEO strategist. I want to hire as a partner of mine. Anyway, so keyword. I like to use this plugin for Google. It's called SEO Quake. What SEO Quake does is it gives you some information about the site. Gives you the page info, how many pages Google has indexed versus Bing, which realistically don't care too much about. What the SEMrush rank is, that's just another ranking factor to say, hey, like how powerful is this site? Gives you an idea of how many backlinks this site has. It's really, really honestly a good tool to be able to just see like, okay, like what am I looking at in terms of like competition rise. Then you also have some backlinks, more information about backlinks. The root domain gives you the URL, which is just, how many backlinks are going to that specific site. But, one thing you want to keep in fact is if you're going to do a lot of backlinks, make sure that those backlinks are pointed at the home page. Because if you have more links going to a specific page, more than the home page, it's more of like a teeter-totter effect, and you get penalized that way as well. So you don't want to do that either. But anyways, so here's what I did right here. I found out what the keyword density was. So keyword density right here, total words, 309 words. Talk to you about what an H1 tag is, because that's going to be part of the content thing. An H1 tag is telling Google, hey, pay attention to this keyword. Pay attention to this when you're going over the content. Pay real close attention. So what they did was they labeled Charlotte and portrait, and I'm pretty sure wedding photographer. That's all an H1 tag. I'm pretty sure they're going to have it right here too. Portrait photographer. Pay attention to portrait photographer. Hey Google, pay attention to portrait photographer. Right here again, portrait photographer, H1. Now, this is a happy medium when it comes to wedding and portrait photography, right here, H1. Now, the one thing is not to get real crazy with a bunch of H1 tags, just because you could end up ranking for something that you don't want to rank for. So you got to be real decisive and specific with the ones that you do want to rank for. Like on my page, I have maybe 3 or 4 H1 tags, and that's like Charlotte SEO, Charlotte SEO Company, Charlotte SEO Expert, and I told Google to focus on those specific things. Another thing with SEO Quake is you can literally you can go to the page, click on the thing, and it'll pull up the meta description right here, which is how you can be decisive and how you create your meta description. So this is just a really good tool. You'll be able to see all the content that they have on their page, and kind of make decisions based off of what you want to rank for. Now that gets to the point where it's what do you want to rank for, essentially. Like, I don't know what keywords to look for. Well, here's another good keyword. A good keyword analyzer. It's called Keywords Everywhere. Poking that real quickly. So Keywords Everywhere, it's a plugin, and realistically, all you gotta do is type in a keyword. So let's say Charlotte photographers. Bam. So Charlotte, and if you go up to the top right here, you'll see Charlotte Photographers provides 590 searches monthly, and the cost per click is $3.46. So that's good. That means that there's some real traffic going through because people are actually paying to have an ad on this page. Another one would be Charlotte Wedding Photographer, 720 searches monthly. Family Photographer, Charlotte, North Carolina, 210. African American Photographers in Charlotte, North Carolina. Those are just keywords that you can add in the content. I would say adding these words adding these pictures. Adding these keywords in the content is just good to have. That's just more traffic. Because just because someone's looking for an African American photographer in Charlotte doesn't mean you can't be the one. You want to grab as much traffic as possible so you can get as much business as possible. I know a lot of business owners are like, oh, well, they're looking for this. It's like, well, how many times have you gone on Google and typed in something and ended up buying something completely different than what it was? Like sometimes a lot of people in society are more spontaneous buyers. They go somewhere looking for a phone and they end up buying a TV just because They're just by the marketing. If you market your product well, anyone will buy it at the end of the day. So that's also very good to have. So say you're like, oh, why do I get all this information off of the site? Maybe I want to take this and analyze it. Well, you can click on a full report, and it'll take you to a good plugin. I mean, a good um, a good software that I use, which is called SEMrush. So what does SEMrush do? SEMrush is basically my sword, my tool when it comes to doing all my SEO work, everything when it comes down to it. And actually, I forgot what page it was on, but they give you like a free 14-day trial, which I recommend just using. It is $100 a month, so I mean, depending on what your budget is, it's a little bit expensive. It can be expensive, but it's just such a great tool when it comes to gathering, data and stuff like that. But I'll show that to you later. Anyway, so let's go to, here we go. So here's an idea that give you even more keywords to look from. So let's review this report real quickly, because this is something that we'd be able to, take into effect and see, okay, what keywords that we have potentially to rank you for, what keywords, and I'm going to actually show you what keywords you're ranking for right now. So here's a list of literally all the keywords, all the high traffic keywords that are in Charlotte, right? So right away you could say, oh, here's something else that you need to look at. This is called the keyword difficulty score. So what the keyword difficulty score is, it basically explains, hey, this is kind of how difficult it is based off of 100%. It tells you oh, well, this is about, a 62% difficulty of ranking. What does that mean? That's about a 6-month campaign. Just based off the numbers, 6-month campaign. I always like to say it, after 6, 7, when it gets to 780, it goes up to a year. Really, realistically, if you're looking at a 90% keyword difficulty, it's a lot of resources and a lot of time. It takes time to get to that point. Just like photographers in Charlotte, North Carolina, would probably take a decent amount of time to get to. As well as Charlotte wedding photographers. But you build upon that. You start out with you get the small wins right here. Cheap wedding photographers, commercial photographers. You get these small wins right here because you can rank for these keywords pretty quickly. There's not a lot of traffic, not a lot of volume, and you can get these things get the small wins first, the ones that get you by, and then later on down the road you're really killing it when you're ranking for these specific keywords. That's the name of the game. It's a slow going process. It's basically getting a whole bunch of momentum with the smaller keywords, and then once those small hits start to come and more people are coming to your site, and then you're obviously doing link building and citations and guest posting, which I'll get to in the next couple of videos because it's a video series. You'll be able to see the benefit behind it. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put your website in the domain organic, because what this is going to do is give me an idea of what you guys are ranking for right now. Okay, so you guys who have a Google My Business, which is great. So I'm gonna do some analytics on this as well, so I'll be able to give you an idea of how to go about that. So let me take this down, so that, and put this in here. Okay, Snap Happy Photography. Okay, so you guys really aren't ranking for many keywords at all that are driving a decent amount of traffic, and the only keyword that you are on page 1 for is happy photos. So obviously some work to be done. So here's a quick one right here. Snap Happy Photography, right? So you're on page 2 right now for this. So targeting this keyword first. I know it's not a lot of volume, but you can honestly get to page 1 within a couple of days. I mean, I don't say days, but maybe a week or two. We can some quality links, and build up your citations. And then maybe do a lot of branded keywords. And what a branded keyword is, just having your name branded in the keyword. So it'd be like www.facebook.com/snap happy photos, and sending a bunch of those keyword branded backlinks to your site. So let's do this. Obviously, I just did an organic search on your site, but let's do an organic search on one of your competitors, which would be right here. Just put that up here and see what they're ranking for. Okay. So let me do this. I just want to see what they're on page 1, like at the top for. If they're on page 1 at the top for anything. Okay, so they're doing pretty well. Okay, so the keyword that they're on page 6 for is Charlotte photographers, and they're getting about 27.35% of that traffic. So we do the math on that. Let's see here, 590 times. Oh, by the way, this is a traffic percentage. It's just saying, hey, how much traffic is actually going to this site, and that's all measurable right there, measurable data. 590 times 0.2735. So they're getting 161 clicks monthly from this particular keyword right here. So that seems like that brings in a lot of traffic from them, honestly, which is good. I mean, that's honestly really good for them. But we can obviously do that. We can obviously get them up to that. It just takes a lot of just what I'm trying to teach you here is learning and everything like that. So this is obviously going to be a bunch of videos, but I wanted you to take this in and digest just some of the things I'm talking about. Really recommend these 3 different. SEMrush is great, and obviously the SEO Quake, these 2 are free. You can get a 2-week trial with SEMrush to start out with, and I think that's just a good tool, just because you'll be able to go in and make sure just to save the video down, because you'll actually be able to go in and rewatch it. It's on YouTube. I'm going to be putting it on YouTube, so you'll be able to do that. But yeah, this concludes the first of many videos, and obviously, since you paid the $500 for consulting, this is something where you can come to me and ask me for any questions as well, and regarding SEO, or when it comes to backlinks, density, stuff like that. Anything when it comes to that, just shoot me an email. I'll be able to respond back to you in no time. Anyways, thank you, Ada and Doug, and look forward to the next video.